Okay, I want you to picture something. I'm pretty sure it's going to feel incredibly familiar.
Mm-hmm.
You're in your favorite cafe. It's, a Tuesday morning. The air smells like coffee, and you've got your laptop out.
Right. The usual scene.
The usual scene. You find a table near an outlet. You connect to the free Wi-Fi, and you start knocking out some work. Maybe you check your bank account. It feels totally mundane.
That feels safe.
It feels safe. Just another Tuesday.
But it's really not. While you're focused on your screen, there's this invisible layer of activity happening in the air all around you.
And that is exactly what we're digging into today. It's a concept that sounds a little technical, maybe even a bit funny.
Packet sniffing.
Packet sniffing. I admit I chuckled the first time I heard it. But it's actually one of the most stealthy ways attackers spy on our digital lives.
It does sound like a cartoon character, doesn't it? The packet sniffer.
It really does.
But the reality is much more serious. This is about deep visibility into your private data.
So welcome to the WeCyberYou Unlocked podcast. Today, we're doing a deep dive into some fascinating and honestly slightly unnerving insights sourced directly from WeCyberYou on this very topic.
It's a classic case of what you can't see can, in fact, hurt you.
Our mission today is to peel back the layers on that internet connection we all take for granted. We want to understand how our digital communication actually travels, how it gets intercepted, and why this silent attack is so dangerous.
For everyone, really, from the person in that coffee shop to major corporations.
Okay, let's unpack this. To really get it, we have to start with the mechanics. The WeCyberYou data talks a lot about the packet part of packet sniffing.
Right.
I think most of us just imagine that when we send an email, it travels as, one big solid chunk.
That's the intuitive way to think about it, sure.
Yeah.
But the internet is more like a complex sorting system. If you tried to send a whole movie file at once, it would just clog everything.
So it breaks it up.
Exactly. Everything you do online, emails, cat videos, you name it, gets broken down into these tiny, manageable chunks called packets.
Okay, so it's like taking a letter, cutting it into 100 little pieces, and mailing each piece in a separate envelope.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And your computer catches all those little envelopes and puts them back together in the right order.
And normally, my computer only opens the mail address to me.
Normally, yes. It'd have a network card that acts like a gatekeeper. It just ignores the packets for the person at the next table.
Because it's not my mail.
Exactly. But a packet sniffing attack, as WeCyberYou defines it, is when an attacker flips a switch on their network card.
A switch?
They put it into what's called promiscuous mode.
Promiscuous mode? That sounds intense.
It just means the computer stops being so polite. It stops ignoring everyone else's mail. It starts capturing and inspecting every single data packet flying across that network.
So they're making a photocopy of every single letter that anyone drops in the mailbox.
That's it. They're intercepting the entire flow of traffic. The source material explains this, gives attackers deep visibility into what everyone's doing online.
Deep visibility. That is an unsettling phrase.
It is.
But here's a twist that I found in the WeCyberYou notes. This whole sniffing thing, it isn't inherently evil, is it?
No, not at all. It's a tool. A classic double-edged sword.
How so?
Well, in the IT world, network admins use packet sniffing all the time for troubleshooting. If your office internet is slow, they use sniffers to see what's going wrong. It's a diagnostic tool.
So it's like a doctor using a stethoscope to listen to your heart.
Right, to find an irregular beat.
Yeah.
But in an attacker's hands, that stethoscope becomes a wiretap.
It all comes down to intent.
It always does.
Okay, that brings us to the how. How does someone actually do this? You can't just reach out and grab a packet out of the air, can you?
Well, not from the global internet, no. But from the local network, absolutely. It's a proximity game. They have to be on the same network as you.
Which brings us right back to where we started this whole deep dive.
The hunting grounds.
Public Wi-Fi.
Yes. Cafes, airports, hotels.
I feel like airports are the worst. You're stuck, you're bored, you desperately need to send that one last email.
And you see free airport Wi-Fi, and you connect without a second thought. Count on that. These places are prime targets because the networks are often unencrypted or just poorly secured.
So when I join that network, I'm essentially walking into a room and shouting my secrets.
And hoping only the right person hears you.
Yeah.
But the attacker is sitting 2 tables away, also connected with their sniffing software running.
It's terrifying.
And it's not just about being in the same cafe. The source also mentions they can get in through compromised routers or even infected devices.
So if they hack the router, that dusty box on the shelf?
Then they control the checkpoint for all the data.
Oh.
They don't even have to be in the building. They basically own the post office.
And once they're in position?
It's immediate. The source says they can capture packets in real time.
Real-time surveillance. So as I'm typing, they're capturing.
Yes. And this brings us to what WeCyberYou calls the most unsettling aspect of this whole thing.
Which is?
It's silent and passive.
Passive usually sounds so harmless.
In cybersecurity, passive is the nightmare scenario.
Why?
Because it denies you a reaction. Think about a virus. If you get hit, you know it. Your computer crashes, a scary pop-up appears.
Right, it's loud. You know you're in a fight.
Exactly. Sniffing is just observation. The victim has no indication their data is being monitored. Your internet works fine, your screen looks normal, but someone is recording everything.
It's a two-way mirror. You think you're alone, but you're not.
And it stays silent until it's far too late.
Okay, so if they're looking, what are they actually seeing? Let's talk about the haul.
Well, this all depends on one magic word: encryption.
Let's start with the worst-case scenario, unencrypted traffic.
That's the holy grail for attackers. They can directly read sensitive information.
And when you say directly read?
I mean, plain text. Human readable. The source lists it all. Login credentials, emails, messages, browsing history, financial data.
Whoa, so if I type my password into a site that isn't secure, the sniffer just sees password 12345.
Essentially, yes. If it's unencrypted, the packet has the raw data. It's like sending that letter in a clear plastic envelope.
That's a nightmare. But most of us look for the little lock icon, right? We use secure sites, so if I'm on a secure site, I'm safe.
Well, this is where it gets more nuanced. Encryption is absolutely crucial. It scrambles the data, but it's not a silver bullet.
Why not? If they can't read the message, what's the problem?
Because even with encryption, attackers can still collect what's called metadata.
Metadata. I hear that word all the time. What is it in this context?
Think about the envelope again. You put your letter in a locked box so no one can read it. That's encryption.
Okay.
But you still have to write the to and from address on the outside of the box to mail it.
Ah, so the metadata is the address.
Exactly. The source explains that metadata reveals user behavior patterns. They might not know what you said in an email, but they know who you emailed, when you sent it, how big the attachment was.
That's still a lot of information, patterns of life stuff.
It is, and WeCyberYou warns that this can enable further attacks, like session hijacking.
Session hijacking. That sounds like someone jumping into the driver's seat of my car while it's moving.
That's a pretty good comparison. If they can grab your session cookie, a tiny file that proves you're logged in, they might be able to take over your session without ever needing your password.
So even with the lock icon, we're not invisible. We're just blurry.
Blurry is much better than clear, but yes, you're still being observed.
So let's look at the fallout. Why does all this matter? What's the real-world impact?
The source breaks it down pretty clearly. For individuals, it's account hijacking and identity theft. If they get your banking info from an unencrypted form, that's game over.
And for companies?
Much higher stakes. Corporate espionage, massive data breaches. Imagine an employee at that coffee shop logs into the corporate network without a VPN. An attacker sniffs their credentials.
And now the attacker has a key to the entire company.
And that's the point. Sniffing is rarely the end goal. It's the reconnaissance phase. It's how they get the maps and the keys for the much bigger crimes.
Okay, that's sufficiently scary. I think I'm side-eyeing my router right now. But this is the WeCyberYou Unlocked podcast, so let's talk solutions. Let's talk about the shield.
Gladly. And WeCyberYou provides a very clear toolkit for this.
I like how they call it network hygiene. It makes it sound like something we should all be doing regularly.
It is exactly that, a habit. And the most important tool is one we've already mentioned, encryption.
Specifically, end-to-end encryption.
Yes. The source lists HTTPS, TLS, secure apps. As a user, always make sure the sites you visit start with HTTPS. That S is everything.
Look for the S. Got it. What if I absolutely have to use that airport Wi-Fi, though?
That is where a VPN comes in. Use a trusted VPN, especially on untrusted networks.
How does a VPN change the game?
A VPN takes your data and puts it inside an armored truck. It creates a secure, encrypted tunnel from your device to the VPN server. All the sniffer sees is the armored truck driving by. They can't see what's inside or where it's ultimately going.
So it blinds the sniffer. That's actionable. What about at home? My home network should be safe, right?
Only if you've secured it. The source really emphasizes using strong encryption on your router, like WPA3 or at least WPA2.
Right, the security standard for Wi-Fi.
Yes, if your router is old and uses weak security, an attacker can crack it in minutes from a car parked on your street.
Okay, that's a little too close to home.
Which is why keeping your router's firmware up to date is so critical. Updates patch the holes they use to get in.
There was a point about behavioral changes, too.
A simple but effective one. Avoid sensitive activity on public Wi-Fi. If you don't have a VPN, maybe just wait to check your bank account until you get home.
A little bit of discipline. Do I really need to do this right now?
Exactly. And for companies, the advice is to use the same tech against the attackers. Monitor your own network, sniff your own traffic to spot anything unusual.
Fighting fire with fire.
Or sniffing with sniffing, I guess. It's all about visibility. You want to be the one who sees what's happening on your network, not somebody else.
So to wrap this up, we've gone from these invisible packets flying through the air to the silent spies capturing them, and finally to the armor we can use to protect ourselves.
It's a journey from vulnerability to empowerment, really. Packet sniffing works because it's stealthy, and it relies on us being a bit careless.
On us assuming that just because we're connected, we're safe.
When really connected just means transmitting. It's on us to make that transmission secure.
This has been the WeCyberYou Unlocked podcast. We really hope this deep dive helps you navigate the digital world a little more safely. If you found it useful, please follow the channel and definitely visit WeCyberYou.com.
They have a ton of great educational content like this. Knowledge is your best defense.
Absolutely. Now, before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought. We talked about how packet sniffing is silent and passive. It records the past.
That's right. It captures a history of what happens.
So think about this. If you connected to a free coffee shop Wi-Fi 5 years ago without a VPN and someone was listening, that data is gone. It's out there.
It's a permanent record you never consented to making.
Exactly. So how much of your private digital history is currently sitting in someone else's database, just waiting, all because of one quick connection you made years ago? Makes you think twice about hitting connect, doesn't it?
It certainly does. The internet never forgets.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Go check out WeCyberYou and stay safe out there.